This is Aaron with Peak Performance. We here at Intentional Sports, sitting with Nosa, one of the board members of the space. Tell us about Intentional Sports and kind of how you got involved and what's going on.
Man. Andy and Austin Carr are just incredible people. I think first and foremost, and there was a vision, that they wanted to build a state-of-the-art facility,
Yeah.
on the west side of Chicago, and this is it. And it's state of the art. It's a Taj Mahal, not just, for the kids that enter the space, but for the community.
Yeah.
And they're doing incredible work of providing, free and, discounted opportunities for kids in this community to be able to get access to, high level sports.
Yeah. I mean, and we've been using it going on our second year. And it's been a great space.
Yeah.
We use it every Saturday. And we had a good workout today.
Yeah,
Nosa got to see some of the guys moving around.
There's some dogs out there.
Yeah, how'd it feel being back? Watching football.
I was telling a couple folks, man, like this is what gives me juice, right? Like this is who I am at my core, right? When you start talking about the root, a lot of the things that I'm living in now are the fruits of my labor, right? But like at the root is the labor,
Yeah.
And that's ball, and that's just years and years of doing tough work, man, and now on the other side of it, when I see young boys doing that same work that I used to do, man, I'm just appreciative of being in the space and being able to provide some perspective.
So with everything that you done seen,
man.
in your life in football and outside of football, what's something you think like a young athlete, really needs to know early on at that stage of, man, I'm starting to show up to workouts, I'm getting better.
Yeah.
What's something they need to know just to carry them through that journey?
Yeah, man. I think one of the things I was sharing, right, is this willingness to show up. Right? I think sometimes we miss that. There is optionality for a kid. A kid doesn't have to get up at 7 a.m. When we was at UConn, when I was at Auburn, there were things that we had to do because we signed on that dotted line.
Yeah.
Those boys ain't signed on no dotted line.
Right.
But they're still showing up. They're still trying to get better, and I think that you got to provide space for gratitude to exist in that. That they're making the right decisions. That they're not pursuing what 14, 15-year-old kids are pursuing on a Saturday morning, whether it's eating a bunch of cereal and going back to sleep until 12, or scrolling on social media. At the end of the day, they made the choice to be here.
Right.
So there's goodness in that, but also it doesn't end there. Anybody can show up. But what do you do when you show up, and what's your mindset when you show up? So I think those are some of the things that we shared and we talked about, that I got a chance to just share my perspective on, because I think that there's goodness in that first part, but there's also greatness that comes after that.
I love that, man. And for me as a former player, being able to have the training business and have the platform, I feel the same way.
Yeah, no question.
It's so many things that they could be doing on a Saturday morning, whether 100%. It's wake up in the morning, play video games, and waste your whole day away on social media, or you got a platform to come and get better.
100%.
And, I was sharing with someone that in every industry you got lazy people and you got people that's locked in and focused. Whether it's in your classroom, you got the kids that's locked in and go do their work and handle what they handle. You got in football, you got kids that show up early, come to workouts, and you got ones that just show up to practice. And don't put the same attention. So you got to figure out what kind of kid you're gonna be. You're gonna be that kid, no matter the industry, whether it's the classroom, the football team, or in business. What kind of person you're gonna be? You're gonna be the one who just shows up, lack of preparation, or you're gonna be that kid or that person who is sharp. You do what you're supposed to do. You show up early. You handle business, and then you're gonna be successful. But that's my big message to these kids now. Don't matter the industry, because not everybody gonna play college. Not everybody gonna play NFL. But what you can take and walk with is like, whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna be the best.
Yeah, man, that's it, right? And I think the throughput of that, right? The throughput of what I love about youth sports, is it can lay a foundation, right? It can lay a foundation that you can build upon. And the first part of the foundation, if you see any building downtown Chicago, that's what I used to always tell my guys, like my young boys, man, like the first step of any tall building is to go down. We gotta excavate, bro. We gotta go down. Because in order for us to lay a proper foundation, if we don't go deep, we can't build up. Right? So
That's
for
cold.
me, bro, like that's always how it starts, and that's what peak performance is, bro. Let's go deep.
Yeah.
Let's go deep. Why not? Because at the end of the day, if we don't want to go deep, yeah, we can build 2 to 3 stories, but that's about it. You got a low ceiling. But if we want to build a skyscraper, man, that means we got to go deeper.
That's real. And I tell the kid, that's right on point, because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not here to just, give you some drills and make you sweat, make you look good. Nah, bro, we here to work, like,
No
go
question.
deep.
No
You know what I mean? Like,
question. No
you
question.
should be leaving here like, yo, I just gave
no
my
question.
all.
No question.
Not like, oh, I just did a few drills and I left with a sweat. Like, nah, I want you to be thinking, like, I'm working so hard. Like, why? What's my why? And I tell them, like, you should be working and think about your why at the same time. Because if you want to quit, that doesn't mean your why not deep enough. You know what I mean? You may not be doing it for the right reason. You got to find that why.
That's it, man. That's it. And it's an embrace, right? It's an embrace of, understanding what you're trying to do it for, and understanding that this also will eventually, it'll connect to how you show up for the rest of your life, right? And we make football out to be this, like, it's not war, right? It's not life or death, right? But at the end of the day, man, it's a foundation setting. So for me,
Hold on, I gotta stop, because you make me think when you say it's not war, then you being war eagle. So like, come on, no. So on Saturday you was going to war, bro.
it's important, man.
You was going to war.
It's important for a lot of people, man. It affects the way that they show up on a daily basis. It matters, right? Like I can't, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it matters. It matters.
It matters,
Right?
okay.
It ain't life or death, but it matters, and it matters how you show up for your family too. And I think that, like, eventually, like, you can't compartmentalize greatness. So if you are saying you're a thing, if you say you're great, but you don't have the like actual work behind it, I think eventually you either get to a place of insanity or you get to a place of shame. And I think shame can kill you.
Ooh. Well, let me wrap it with this. And, as I talked about the why for the kids, digging deep. And, I feel like the message is clear to them. Like, building that foundation for beyond just sport. But for you, like, what's your why? Why are you showing up and giving as you do, giving as you do, and the person that you are? Like, what's your why?
Yeah, I share with the young boys, man, that I live in the generosity economy, right? I think a lot of people, especially in this day and age, man, everything is so, like, catered to us, that it's like, all right, how much can I get from me? I think, at the core of it all, masculinity is about serving people, and it's about creating safe spaces. And for me, like, my work is centered around eradicating the disease of low expectation. I think so many people, unfortunately, rich, millionaires, billionaires, or, a cat on the street, they all, like, unfortunately, they aspire to small. They want to take care of themselves and maybe a couple people. Like, nah, I'm gonna impact 1 million people before I pass away. Man. Straight up, right? So for me, like, I think that if we just stop, putting, low expectations on ourselves and on others, I think this world will be a better place. So for me, I'm trying to live that out, honestly, and with the work that I do on a daily basis. And God willing, man, one day I'll be able to do it.
Man, well, praise God, bro. You've been
bro.
a special person since I met you, man. And we have to say the story.
Yeah,
but
no
we have to
question.
get that story out, how we met on the street,
Yeah,
and
man,
just
that's it,
how it's
that's
coming
it.
full circle, bro. When you really think about that,
yeah.
it's been nothing but God.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's bigger than us, bro.
It's way bigger than us,
Yeah, it
and
is.
I appreciate you being available, being a resource, not only to myself, to
100%.
but people in my network.
Yeah, no
And I
question.
always tell the kids, like,
Yeah.
who I know, you know.
Yeah,
so
straight
if
up.
I can
Straight
help
up.
y'all anyway, let me know.
Yeah.
I probably know somebody that can, even if I can't. And like, you one of those people that I know if I call on you, you're gonna
100%.
be available and you do
Yeah.
right by them. So I appreciate you
100%.
for real, like being that kind of person,
man.
because it ain't. You think it's an abundance of those people running around
yeah.
in different cities,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah.
And,
And God
you
is
one of the
faithful,
ones.
right? Like, there's a reason why we're connected. There's a reason why we met on the corner of Green and Lake. Like, there's a reason why we're not at the corner of Green and Lake no more. We're
Right.
at sports, right? Because at the end of the day, bro, like, when you give of yourself and you're of service, man, it gets bigger, and it gets bigger alongside other people that lives are getting bigger. So
Yeah,
this is just the start, baby. It's
Yeah,
up.
bro. We appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
man, it's love.
To wrap, man, how can people find you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think right now, man, it's just IG, man. I think I try to be intentional about, just staying positive, man, and posting the things that I love. And I love serving people. I love the connection of sport and business, and I've been leaning into a lot of work around that. So yeah, just Nosa, first name Nosa, last name Eguae, on Instagram, LinkedIn, and my website, man, all my speaking stuff. But yeah, man, I think that's the easiest way, man. Just put Nosa wherever
Yeah, you'll
you
find
search.
them. Ain't too many guys named Nosa on the gram,
Yeah,
so
man,
tap in.
wherever you wanna put that, man, put that there, and you'll find me, and hopefully you see something positive that can impact your life.
I appreciate you, bro.
Always love, baby.
Yes, sir.